my experience and accomplishments as a policy advisor, community advocate, and small business owner with you, and my ideas to enhance public safety, strengthen our economy, and promote a clean, healthy island. I humbly ask for your vote for strong families and a strong Guam.
Viva Regime!
Create new jobs and business opportunities. Continue shaping a smaller and more efficient government. Bring the highest honor and respect to our veterans. Protect life. These are some of the most important tenets of the Republican Party of Guam, and you will see these values in action with a new Republican majority in the legislature and a Republican in Congress. It's time to change the voice. For the good of the people, it's time to vote Republican.
This lineup is brought to you by AutoSpot, Guam's fastest growing dealership with in-house financing. You'll be amazed what we can do. Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E Life in Motion. KUAM News Headlines is presented by Calvo's Insurance, a legacy of trust, serving Micronesia since 1938. Matson Navigation, serving Guam and Micronesia for 20 years. Cars Plus, Dodge Challenger, the undisputed champion. IP&E, fueling excellence. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. Pacific Solar and King's Restaurant, located in Tamuning and Dededo. Always open, always local.
A popular local bodyboarder has passed away after fighting for his life since being punched over the weekend.
Plus, the bill of particulars up for debate during last night's education board meeting.
Also in the rundown, traditional healer is invited to harvest medicinal plants on military base. Top day and good evening, everybody. If you're watching us live on KUAM TV 8 or streaming us anywhere in the world on YouTube, thanks so much for tuning in tonight. Well, we start the news with sad news as a beloved local bodyboarder was pronounced dead this morning after sustaining major head injuries in an incident over the weekend.
As Crystal Paco reports, his passing could mean heavier charges against 3 of his friends who he was out drinking with Friday night.
Family and friends have confirmed the passing of Brian Cruz, the man who was found unconscious in the back of a sedan over the weekend in the parking lot of Linda's Cafe in East Hagutnya. Cruz, more affectionately called the Ripper for his skills in the surf, had sustained serious head injuries as a result of a blow to the head while out in Tumon Friday night. Court documents state police are piecing together what unfolded that night using surveillance footage from nearby establishments. That footage shows Cruz sustained a blow to the head while out with friends J.C. White, Richard Regadio, and Alfredo Castro in Tumon. After Cruz lost consciousness, the men put him in the sedan and went to eat at Linda's Cafe, where a riot broke out and Cruz was discovered in the back of a car. White, Regadio, and Castro were arrested and charged with aggravated assault and rioting. White and Castro posted bail on Tuesday and have been released. Regadio, meanwhile, remains in custody. According to the Attorney General's office, Cruz's death may affect the charges against the defendants. They have not disclosed what those charges may be. The AG's office has also confirmed what we first reported on Monday, that others involved in the Linda's Cafe incident were involved in a riot at the Dededo Dome over the Easter weekend. Liberty Conception, Jovan Santos, and Christian Medina are currently on pre-trial release in the Dededo Dome incident. They are set for trial next May. Also charged in the Linda's Cafe incident were Ryan Bigler and Enrique Dueñas. The 5 men were not arrested but will be summoned to appear in court at a later date. Cruz was 35 years old. He is survived by his 3 children. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Crystal Paco.
The Department of Corrections officer arrested in a home invasion and kidnapping case pleads not guilty to the charges. Darren Jared Cruz appeared in court today where he waived his right to a speedy trial. Cruz remains behind bars on $500,000 cash bail. Court document states he hid in a woman's home and forced her and another man to another location where he brutally beat the man for hours and threatened to kill them if they told police. The woman identified Cruz as her estranged husband and stated she'd been seeking a divorce. His next court court appearance is scheduled for November 22nd.
Well, another Department of Corrections inmate has been handed over to the federal government to begin the process of deportation. J7 Jane, also known as Janie Jane, was convicted for driving drunk and killing a woman and her unborn child in a car crash back in the year 2003. Jane was serving 13 years imprisonment and was scheduled to be released next month. Now, Jane, who was a citizen of the FSM, also had priors including criminal mischief, aggravated assault, and family violence. The governor's office says the governor says there are no winners here, but at least we will be able to ensure that this individual can hurt no one else on our island. The governor thanks the U.S. Immigration Service for working with us on the case and for helping the administration promote the safety of the people of Guam.
The superintendent saga continues as the Guam Education Board is split on whether it approves of the bill of particulars outlining the cause of termination for Superintendent John Fernandez.
Isa Baza was at last night's meeting and has the very latest.
Tensions ran high at a Guam Education Board meeting Tuesday evening. Minutes before the meeting ended, board member Peter Alexis Atta publicly announced his motion to rescind the highly publicized bill of particulars. His reason? Because he claims the bill has been leaked and also served to the superintendent, all without consent or approval from the board.
Just tonight, I was shocked to hear that one board member, even up to this moment, has not seen the bill of particulars.
However, board member Dr. Jose Cruz and Chair Lusa Nicholas disagreed.
I have gotten it, and I'm not complaining of that because I do not want to undo something that already has been done by a vote of 6.
The bill of particulars is a summary of the investigation report. To change that would mean that the investigation report would have to be redone.
However, board member Maria Gutierrez supported Atta's motion.
The legal counsel works for the board, and we give him the instruction and direction how to do it. This bill of particulars was never approved by the board, or one board member never get to see it. And the contract is between the superintendent and the board, not the legal counsel.
Motion fails.
Atta's motion failed with a vote of 4-3. However, following the meeting, San Nicolas said she's concerned about the reported leaks of confidential information. She said she's instructed attorney Gary Gumatautau to investigate the matter further. While she could not confirm any set date for the upcoming public hearing, she said it should take place this November. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Isa Baza.
Guam Education Board Legal Counsel Gary Gumatautau responds to recent allegations by Superintendent Fernandez attorney David Lujan that the board's investigation and actions have been unfair and illegal. Gumatautau states, quote, "I have great respect for my colleague, but we disagree. I have addressed questions based on public information, such as explaining the termination process." He added, quote, "No prior superintendent had a contract with John's contract language. He negotiated the terms that require an investigation, a bill of particulars, and a public hearing. If John wanted more due process, then he should have negotiated more due process into his contract," end quote.
In other news, Northern students at Benavente Middle School in Dedido were evacuated following a fire at the campus this afternoon. According to Assistant Principal Eric Dela Cruz, the fire was located in a trash can in a boys' restroom. Now, while the incident was reported to the Guam Fire Department, school officials were able to douse the fire with an extinguisher before officials arrived. Dela Cruz says GFD is investigating the incident and classes continued with minimal disruption.
Well, stay tuned. We are back with more news after this.
There are more ways to experience KUAM News than any other source on Guam. Download the KUAM News app for your Apple or Android device for 24/7 news, sports, videos, weather, streaming with KUAM radio, and important news alerts. And stay connected at home with Guam's first app for Apple TV. All available now from the App Store.
Have you gotten paid yet? That's the premium automatic insurance deduction plan from Calvo's Insurance. Paid simplifies your home and auto insurance. No down payment, no more long lines, and you can stretch your payments up to 12 months. Paid is convenient. It deducts from your payroll, your checking account, or your credit card. With Paid, you get up to 65% off your car insurance and enjoy lifestyle club discounts. Life can be easier when you get paid.
Call Calvo's Insurance today and save on your home and auto insurance. Hi, I'm interested in one of your new Samsung devices.
I have the one just for you.
We're increasing the amount of 4G LTE data on our new rate plans, giving people more of what they want to do more of the things they want.
So what do you think?
Nice.
Hafa Day. I am Carmen, mother of Joe San Agustin, a candidate for senator. I am the wife of former Speaker Joe T. San Agustin. Our son Joe has been a public servant as an education board member to as early as a police officer. He wants to take his public service to the next level as senator. Please give him that opportunity. Vote Joe San Agustin. Thank you.
Madeline Berdallo has been a champion for Guam and has worked every day to improve our island.
She knows that a good education is key to a brighter future for students like me. She has advocated for millions of dollars in federal grants for UOG and GCC, and I know that she continues to work for a strong economy so that I can have a good paying job when I graduate.
Madeline Berdallo has a strong record of results for Guam. Let's build on the progress she has made and re-elect her as our voice in Congress.
I'm Madeline Berdallo, and I approve of this message.
Whether it was on the baseball field, in the classroom, or in the halls of the Guam legislature, I have and will continue to believe in the combined power of family and community. As your senator, I've worked hard to prioritize the issues that matter most to Guam's youth and families. From youth and community programs, the modernization of public services, to the responsible development of economic activity. These past few years have blessed me with many reasons to continue believing in the future of Guam. I am Tommy Morrison, and I humbly ask for your vote.
At Project Carino, we work with young children from birth through 5 years of age to improve their social and emotional well-being. We're part of Guam's system of care, and partnering with other programs, your child is our focus.
Project Carino helped us address our son's social issues. With the different services provided by Project Carino, our son can express himself more clearly.
Connect with KUAM News. Find us on your favorite social media platform. Follow us and stay in the know with Guam's news leader.
Welcome back to Primetime, everybody. Local leaders continue to push for a One Guam approach when it comes to the realignment of U.S. Marines. And today, as part of the programmatic agreement, some of Guam's traditional healers were granted access on base to collect medicinal plants for future use.
Ken Quintanilla takes us up north to NCTS.
While she's been here before, a little drizzle didn't stop Amut Farmers owner Bernice Nelson from making her way back into the Naval Computer and Telecommunications Station in Finagazan.
Feels good, except the rain.
And with more than a mile into the jungle of NCTS, Nelson joined some of Guam's farmers, traditional healers, and artisans, along with members of the military, as part of the Marine Corps activity Guam's invitation to harvest medicinal plants and to collect species for transplantation. Nelson collected some luluhud, pahang, and garlic.
It's pretty good. Dave's really helped around, and I appreciate that they included us on collecting plants before they destroy the place. And my farm is what I'm doing is preserving the local medicine, so that way, in case the Sruanan is something I have.
Nelson is part of nearly 12 individuals authorized to come on base at the moment, specifically to collect medicinal plants as part of an agreement for the Marine realignment. NAFAC Mariana's Access Plan Coordinator, Dave Snyder.
And what we've done is through the programmatic agreement, we've made an agreement with Guamanians, with the local people, that before some lands are cleared, we always run the Surhana, the traditional healers, the cultural artisans through an area to take a look at what might be able to be transplanted or what might be able to be used for carving or something. So today what we've done is we brought some elders on to the base to pick medicinal plants that may be used by Surhana and Surhano for healing.
He hopes this leads to an even bigger program called the Public Access Plan that allows with more access to over 30 locations that hold cultural and spiritual significance to Chamorros, including some World War II sites located on 4 different bases.
It's not like a one-time shot during the year. It's like this is something we could do throughout the year. And maybe twice a week, 3 times a week. It just depends on if there's some demand.
It's a demand Nelson says is high for farmers like her.
This is very, very good opportunity.
For more information on how to set up a visit, you can contact Snyder at 355-2013. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Ken Quintaniza.
More much-needed backup generation for the island-wide power system will be online very soon. GPA General Manager John Beneventi told the Consolidated Commission on Utilities at a meeting Tuesday that he expects equipment for the 22-megawatt Machechi combustion turbine to arrive by Monday. The generator will start contributing soon afterward as a fast-starting reserve unit.
November 7th, we have to install it. It takes about 3 to 4 days to install. And after that, we do a performance test of the machine, and then after that, it's commissioned. That's how fast.
GPA also recently announced plans to extend the contract for the 40-megawatt temporary generators on lease from the Agreco company. The Power Authority has been working to return the island-wide system back to the same generation capacity that it had prior to the August 31st, 2015 Cabras plant explosion when it lost 80 megawatts of baseload capacity. Students from the Academy of Our Lady of Guam's Advanced Placement American Government and Politics class hosted a senatorial forum for all the women running for senator. 8 out of the 9 women running attended, answering questions about Guam's political status to the legalization of recreational marijuana.
No.
It is the same question down the line.
No. No. Yes.
No.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Meanwhile, all 8 candidates said they do not support Bill 390 to borrow $100 million for future tax refund payments.
Speaking of all things electoral, make sure to join us for another exciting edition of D16 tonight at the bottom half of the hour, because joining us live in studio and live on Facebook will be your senatorial candidates, Fernando Esteves, Dr. Nerissa Underwood, and Joe San Agustin. They're actually right up there, as I'm told. D16 Tonight is a completely interactive program, and once we go on Facebook Live, make sure to post your questions to the candidates. They will interact with you directly. That show begins once again at 6:30 p.m. following the conclusion of prime time. Well, one man is the newest addition to the bench in other news, as an investiture ceremony was held late Tuesday afternoon for Benjamin Sison Jr. as a magistrate for the Superior Court of Guam. He was appointed by the Supreme Court of Guam in 2009 to serve as a part-time referee, presiding over trials and hearings for traffic and small claims courts. He received plenty of praise at his confirmation hearing earlier this year for his competence, experience, and temperament to sit as a second magistrate alongside Judge Alberto Tolentino.
Sports is coming up next, plus later we will have your this week's Think Green report.
Hey, what's up? It's Victorious from I-94, 1/4 of KUAM's Koku Crazy Ekidem Relay Team. What's up? Now I'm here today to show you guys some spectacular stretches to help you guys in the Guam Koku Road Race, all right? So first things first, we're going to start off with some dynamic stretches to activate and loosen up your leg muscles. Let's go. Leg swings. Hold on to something sturdy, like a pole, stand on one leg, and swing the other leg forward and back. And repeat 20 times before switching sides. Walking lunges are another great pre-run stretch. So after you run, go for some static stretches like the standing quad or the standing calf stretch. They'll help get your heart rate down and lessen soreness. All right, so whether you're part of the relay team, the 10K, or the half, register for the Guam Koku Road Race today. Now!
It's the final days of our Kick-Off to Savings event at Cars Plus and Mighty. Now through October, save thousands on the award-winning Hyundai lineup with the best warranty on Guam. 10 years or 100,000 miles. Like a 2017 Hyundai Elantra starting at just $16,995. Or the Hyundai Accent starting at just $12,995. SUV lovers, the Hyundai Tucson is the perfect vehicle for those tailgate parties. Starting at just $22,995. Visit CarsPlusGuam.com for easy shopping and quick financing. Come see us for the final days of our Kick-Off to Savings event. Cars Plus, driven by you.
Senator Brant McCready continues to address issues head-on that matter most to the people of Guam. Senator McCready has fought to reduce senatorial salaries since his first term in 2013. He fought to eliminate wasteful spending at the legislature by introducing a measure that would prohibit the use of government funds for travel. Senator McCready continues to invest in public safety by introducing legislation to hire 200 new police officers to protect and serve our community. Senator McCready fights for victims of violent crimes by introducing the Vulnerable Victims Act of 2014 and Three Strikes Law. In addition, he defends victims of sexual abuse with the Predator Prevention Act and the Chemical Castration for Sex Offenders Act of 2015. Senator Brant McCready works to protect your family and Guam's future.
Vote for your public safety senator, number 10 on the Republican ballot.
Go for the Coco! Register for the Guam Coco Road Races. The all-new Coco Road Race is bigger and better than ever, so join the Coco and start training today. We've added a 10K run walk to the half marathon and Ekiden relay, running costume and win cash prizes. Plus, enjoy live entertainment at the post-race Monster Bash after the races. Register online now for the Guam Coco Road Races at guamcocoroadrace.com.
This is what precision feels like. Magnetic Ride Control actively monitors road conditions 1,000 times per second to deliver a comfortable ride.
1,000 times, huh? Yep, per second. How about that?
This is the new, meticulously crafted 2016 Sierra Denali from GMC. This is the precision of professional grade. Or get nearly $7,300 total value on select specially equipped 2016 Sierra Crew Cab SLT vehicles in stock. Visit AutoSpot GMC today.
KUAM Sports is presented by Triple J.
Abday Guam, Chris Barnett with sports here, proudly brought to you by Triple J. All right, let's kick it off here with the Guam Basketball Association team profile. As we get ready to head into the playoffs, let's take a look at the Tooth Fairies. While they may not be sitting as pretty as they were this time last year, the Tooth Fairies are making the most of their first season as defending Guam Basketball Association champions. The Tooth Fairies, known last year as the Sushi Rockets, finished the GBA regular season tied for third with a 5-5 record, and they're entering the playoffs as the 5th seed. With lineups in the GBA being shuffled more than a Vegas deck of cards, finding the chemistry was the hardest thing for teams this year.
It's a new, different type of team. We're playing a little bit more up-tempo, with a little bit more pressure on defense.
The Tooth Fairies definitely have the depth, and they'll need it when they face a 4th seed team, the Phoenix. James Stake and Irvin Jose handle most of the scoring duties, but Edgardo Baza, Kirk Long, big man Max Kepway, and Merwin Martin can stack buckets too. The Tooth Fairies open the season strong, beating MVP and Justice, and Team Justice is the top seed in the playoffs, with MVP taking the 3rd seed. So the Tooth Fairies can turn up and win against the GBA's top-tier squads.
This season's a lot more competitive than the last season. Teams will bring their best against us, one, because we are, I guess, considered the defending champs. And also, they hate losing to a team called Tooth Fairies, you know? So they're going to bring it against us all the time.
But the Tooth Fairies will have to bring it in the playoff opener against the Phoenix to stay alive in the GBA. So look for them to try and put a loss under the Phoenix's pillow something they're very capable of doing. The Guam Basketball Association schedule tomorrow night. Playoffs kick off at the FD Phoenix Center, 6 p.m. The 4th seed taking on the 5th seed, Phoenix versus Tooth Fairies. And then at 8, it's MVP versus the Tritons in GBA playoff action. The Simon Sanchez Lady Sharks hosting the Southern High Lady Dolphins to kick off their 2016 IIAG girls basketball season. Nadine St. Nicholas finding an opening in the Dolphins D off the inbound pass, goes high off the backboard for the bucket. Southern working their inbound play back the other way. Number 25, Iriarty, dribbles left, pulls up, hitting the off-balance jumper for 2. A lot of aggressive play by both teams. Sanchez trying to slow down the tempo. Keilani Estoy stopping and popping. All net to Laza on 2 defenders. Iriarty off on the three-point try. Ball gets tipped back to Tyron. She got you back, girl, for the putback. Estoy coming out of nowhere for the steal and the finish the other way. Layup falls for the basket. Southern, the Dolphins, start their season off with a dub on the road. 38-28. Macedonia with the pressure for the steal and the lay-in here, and her teams win. Early bird gets the worm, but you late birds can get some action too, with on-site registration for the Guam Koku Road Race going down Friday, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturday, 9 to 6 at Epau Beach, a.k.a. Governor Joseph Flores Memorial Park. Register for the half marathon, $100 for residents, $125 for non-residents. The 10K, $50 for residents, $75 for non-residents. And the Ekiden Relay, $200 for residents, a team of 4, or $300 for non-residents, both days. And we'll see you race day Sunday for the Guam Koku Road Race. All right, hey, still trying to figure out what us Coco Crazies are going to be in the Coco Road Race. Any costume ideas? Hit up our sports director, Dave Delgado's show at KUAM.com. Proudly brought to you by Triple J. This has been KUAM Sports. My name's Chris. You keep on shining, Guam. Adios!
The 5th annual Fall Fiesta is on at Nissan. Slide behind the wheel of a new workhorse Frontier Crew Cab, including Bluetooth, split rear bench with under-seat storage, and 6,300-pound towing capacity, all for only $137 per pay period. The best truck value on Guam. The 4-door Crew Cab starting at just $137 per pay period. At Nissan, we offer award-winning cars, exceptional service, and best customer experience guaranteed. Get all the details at Nissan Upper Tumon.
It's Chucktober at Chuck E. Cheese's Guam. Get a treat bag when you wear your costume to come play. Medium cheese pizzas are just $12, mummy dogs are $3.99, and cotton candy is $1.99. Sign up for the costume contest on the 29th. Enjoy Chucktober at Chuck E. Cheese's Guam.
Half a day, I am Nerissa Underwood. What is our children's future? Will they have good jobs? Will they have quality health care? Will they be required to pay government debt? These are difficult questions which require hard work as well as courage and commitment. All answers begin with education. Our educational system is the key to a sustainable island society, proud of its past and confident of its future. Building a strong economy, a reliable healthcare system, and making us safe all require ideas and talent, which starts with the classroom, a teacher, a child confident about his or her ability to build a strong society. Education is my commitment to you, and I will always have the courage of that commitment.
Courage and commitment. Paid for by the Committee to Elect NBU, Ricardo Bordalio, Treasurer.
This is Nerissa Underwood, and I approve this ad.
For 20 years, Matson has been an important part of our everyday lives. Bringing in the cars we drive, the food we eat, and the materials that helped build our homes, from caring for our land through the Adaki Itanu program to generously supporting our local charity. Matson has contributed to the preservation and growth of our island. On behalf of those you've served throughout your 20 years on Guam, Sidus Ma'asi, Matson.
Why don't you train for the Coco's Kids Race, bro? Shoot, not even fair, bro. I'll just win that. Boom!
Calling all parents. Sign your kiddos up for this costume run October 29th. Register now at GuamKokuRoadRace.com.
Too many of the issues that truly matter to our people remain unresolved, and many of the new opportunities to move our island forward have gone unaddressed. I'm Felix Camacho, and I'm running to be Guam's next delegate to Congress because I have a proven record of effectively partnering with the federal government to get things done for our island, a partnership that I believe our people need now from our delegate. We've done it before, and I believe that it is time to do it again.
Please vote Felix Camacho for Congress, paid for by the Committee to Elect Camacho for Congress 2016. Gregorio Calvo, Treasurer.
I'm Felix Camacho, and I approve this message.
For the first time in 27 years, a non-luxury brand has won the prestigious J.D. Power Award for initial quality, and that brand is Kia. That's right, Kia, the automaker that brought you the funky award-winning Soul and the rugged Sportage SUV ranked highest among 33 of the world's best manufacturers. And your new Kia not only comes with award-winning quality, but it's backed up by a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Quality comes standard with every Kia from Triple J. Check out our proud Kia lineup online at triplejguam.com. Get pre-approved instantly. triplejguam.com. Trade-ins welcome. Triple J Auto Group. Customers first.
It's time for Think Green with Isa Baza.
Think Green is presented by Pacific Solar and Photovoltaics, keeping Guam green one roof at a time. Call 632-4002 for more information.
It's a tool to fight against man-made disasters. Guam's first oil spill response vessel that you see behind me can recover up to 12,000 barrels of oil every single day.
It's actually a history in the making because it's the first classified Coast Guard certified oil skimming barge in our region.
John Manabusin is a general manager for the Oil Spill Response Operation Company. The company does business both with the commercial port as well as the military and the federal government.
And we're here and we help to protect and mitigate response for pollution. So because we know that Guam is surrounded by various sensitive areas, so our role and our mission basically is to assist on oil handlers from mitigating fuel spills.
Will Kalori is the company's chief financial officer.
We're so remote, we're so far out, and our environment is so precious that if there was a large incident where there's oil spill, who knows how long it would take to get other assets to Guam to respond. So this gives us the capacity to respond immediately.
While the vessel hasn't had to respond to an oil spill yet, earlier this year it aided a shipwrecked vessel that ran aground near the Spanish Steps at the mouth of Apra Harbor.
And what we did was we removed the fuel from the tanks before it got into the water. So
Kalori said the $1 million investment to construct and refurbish the barge shows not only a commitment to the environment, but to the community.
I think it's a holistic approach to making sure that the ocean and the environment stay protected.
With this week's Think Green, I'm Isa Baza.
Think Green is presented by Pacific Solar and Photovoltaics, keeping Guam green one roof at a time. Call 632-4002 for more information.
Let us get right to tonight's birthday shout-outs, courtesy of our friends at the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club. Happy 7th birthday right off the bat to Tegan. This comes from Mommy, Daddy, and your brothers Ezra and Keenan and the entire family.
Happy 20th birthday to Jasmine Molina from Mom, Dad, Isaiah, and family.
Happy birthday number 18 to Franklin, and this comes from Nate Dog. Happy birthday.
Dog. And happy birthday to Andrew Paris from your Nino.
And you can always be a part of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club by registering online at KUAM.com. Speaking of all things online, if you want to jump on Facebook Live right now, facebook.com/KUAM News, because D16 is coming up next, and your candidates are taking your questions.
Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E Life in Motion.
Good day, everyone. Welcome to D16 tonight. I'm Nestor Lecanto, your host for this week's program. Joining us live in studio are senatorial candidates Joe San Agustin, Narissa Underwood, and Fernando Esteves. Thank you for sharing your time with us. As you may know, our show is completely interactive. Almost all of our questions hopefully will come from our viewers who are watching us live on Facebook. And before we begin, I'd like to give each of the candidates about 30 seconds for some introductory comments. And we'll start with you, Joe.
Hi, people of Guam. My name is Joe S. San Agustin. I'm number 8 on the Democratic side of the ballot.
Narissa?
Half a day. I'm Narissa Underwood. I was born in the Philippines, grew up in Agate, and I've been an educator for almost 30 years, or more than 30 years. And I'm a first-time senator this 33rd Guam legislature.
And Fernando?
Half a day, I'm Fernando Barcenas Esteves, disabled veteran, combat veteran, small business owner, son of Guam.
Okay, so let's get straight to it. We have our first question from Jay Krish Shindaiwa. What are some of your ideas to deter the rising crime rate on Guam? And Joe, you started off.
Well, I honestly believe that if we adequately fund the police department and start an education campaign of what's going on the island, I think the folks actually want to know what's happening and what they need to do to participate. It's community. There's got to be some community action on this because the police officers can only handle so much. But adequately fund them, and we'll start getting things rolling.
All right, Narissa.
Yeah, I've always believed that education is the key. We have to start with our youth. We have to ensure that they know how to appreciate themselves and appreciate each other. And so if we help within the education system how to lift up those very core values that are important to us, it would help to teach all of our youth and our community members to respect each other.
Okay, and Fernando?
I think economic factors, ensuring people have opportunities. If you look at related crime, a lot of it is based on drugs. So I think beefing up law enforcement, adequately funding them is important, but also equally as important is funding customs. Most of the drugs that come in on Guam are coming in through containers. And so it's a funding issue over there to try to deter that.
Okay, thank you very much. Next question goes to Narissa, and is probably appropriate because you used to be the Director of Education. It comes from Berna Rivera Guerrero. What are you going to do to ensure Guam Federation of Teachers and GDOE finalize our contracts?
Well, actually, there had been conversations happening even over the past few months. This has been brought to my attention, and I believe in allowing both parties to first work this out. I think they're making some headway, but this has been brought to my attention by some of the teachers, because some of the classrooms are actually like 34 students, and they believe that the spirit of the contract has been violated. So I wouldn't have a problem bringing them together and at least for them to set some timelines. But it's very important for us to respect the teachers.
Okay, and Fernando?
So I'm not going to lie myself through this. I don't have enough background knowledge to speak appropriately as to what the current situation is. But I do think that making moves forward to finally bringing this to closure and having that contract, I think is very important. It can help us and the teachers and students move forward.
Okay, and Joe, what would you do if you were a senator to ensure that the Guam Federation of Teachers and GDOE finalize the contract?
Well, you know, being formerly from the Guam Education Policy Board, you can't have too many students per teacher. And that should have been the rules of engagement to start with. The GFT's been in business for years, gosh, maybe 40 years. And they've always advocated that, number one, you can only have so many students or else, you know, the teacher will lose out on some of the students. So if we keep the numbers at the minimum and follow the contract that they've always had, all they're doing is renewing. There's really nothing new. Not unless there's something new in their contract they're asking for.
Okay, Fernando, our third question comes from Catherine Lorio. And she asks, some kids face rejection from their families because they are LGBT. How do you think elected leaders should model inclusion for LGBT people in our island through public policy?
So in terms of public, I fully support all equality. I know it goes against the grain with some of my counterparts, but I think of equality as the government's job is to always enforce and ensure equality and most especially inclusion. So I think things like unisex restrooms are key to that. And I think a lot of it is just the culture as individuals or as families to understand that we're all part of the same community. I think we've come very far over the last decade. And I think as younger generations come up and get more comfortable, it'll only get better.
Okay, and Joe?
Well, you know, I support the LGBT, and there's no reason for the people not to accept it. It's the law of the land. Let's move forward. Let's accept them, embrace them, and let's just do what we need to do.
All right.
And Narissa?
Well, I actually ran on the notion that if we provide equal opportunity and fair treatment to everyone, then we would have a more successful community. I authored the marriage equality here in Guam right after the decision had been made by the Supreme Court. And so I am very much in tune with that, but I also believe that it starts with the leaders. The more that we embrace people, no matter who they love, the more that those who are looking up to us would then also embrace them. And Guam has been very, very accepting, but I just couldn't believe that it had taken so many years for us to pass a marriage equality bill.
Okay. And our next question comes from Mike Carino. To you, Joe. How do you plan to pay tax refunds without resorting to borrowing on the bond market all the time? We cannot continue to borrow to pay for refunds, according to Mike.
Well, you know, when you look at it on the tax refund, a lot of people don't understand that, number one, it really comes down to management of money. But if everybody would actually just stop and think about it, number one, every week, everybody, whoever's working are getting paid. And on their check stub, it always says income tax withheld. So the government has money every day because anybody that gets paid, the money's in the system. I honestly believe what the government needs to do is not wait for that magic day every 30 days saying, oh, we got $2 million. You've always had. Every week, I honestly believe the government should start paying the tax refund because you got to keep the economy moving and get that money revolving.
All right. And
well, I believe that in order for us to improve our financial condition, it again starts with us as leaders. If we want to have more money, we have to spend less, and we have to be responsible even within our offices. So we have a system in place right now. I don't believe in borrowing, especially for operational issues. I believe that at this point, our people can be patient, but it starts with each one of us. Just because we are awarded or given $300,000 for our office doesn't mean that we would have to spend all the $300,000. So it starts with decreasing our expenditures.
And Fernando.
So looking at the tax situation, I do agree it is a cash management issue, and there are definitely things that we can improve upon. But again, you know, I reiterate, as I've said before, is the vast majority of the tax refund, somewhere around 60 million plus, is unfunded by the federal government. And majority of the people who receive that don't even pay into taxes. So it's just magic money that has to come out of nowhere. So I think that is something to realize, and it is going to take a lot of cooperation between the legislature and administration on how to move that forward for the benefit of the people.
Okay, and we've got actually a couple of questions about bullying. Jovian St. Nicholas is the most recent question. What do you plan for our community to help stop the bullying and fighting that's been happening on our island? Marissa?
Mm-hmm. Well, again, it starts at home. We have to ensure that the parents are involved. We have to ensure that parents are informed about the importance of them monitoring their own kids, and for them to model those behaviors that we would want our kids to demonstrate outside of the home. Education is very important as well. We have a very strong anti-bullying program and policies that have been in place. We're working with the courts, and I believe we have a structure in place, but each one of us also has to demonstrate the respect for each other and being able to resolve conflicts. And we do that through education and by modeling it amongst ourselves.
Okay, Fernando, you've got 30 seconds to answer this, but what would you do to
Sure. So I attended the anti-bullying forum at Southern High School, my alma mater, and I'm a graduate of Southern High School 2003, which you would call the dark ages there. So I'm familiar with the infighting and bullying. I'll tell you what was surprising to me is going back there, seeing is that the kids are policing themselves. Like back in my generation, you probably wouldn't see a single student that would go after hours to an anti-bullying forum and be defensive of their fellow classmates. So I think we have seen maturation and growth of our student population and our children, which is indicative of better parenting.
Okay, and finally, really quickly, Joe, before we go to break.
On the bullying, number one, it goes back to education. Let's get that education campaign going. Let's get more, the court officers in there, the RSOs, get more into the Department of Education, and let's start policing ourselves.
Okay, stay tuned. We'll continue our discussion with the candidates right after this break.
create new jobs and business opportunities. Continue shaping a smaller and more efficient government. Bring the highest honor and respect to our veterans. Protect life. These are some of the most important tenets of the Republican Party of Guam, and you will see these values in action with Republican mayors in every village and a Republican in Congress. It's time to change the voice. For the good of the people, it's time to vote Republican.
Tourism, it's our #1 industry. As Guam's largest employer, tourism supports 20,000 jobs. In fact, 1 out of every 3 jobs is tourism related. Annually, tourism generates over $150 million in tax revenue. Without it, every household would pay an additional $3,100 per year. From real estate to retail, tourism has a positive impact on every industry. Make Guam a better place to live, work, and visit. Support tourism.
Hello, my name is Jason Cruz. 25 years ago, lupus has left me blind and without the full use of my legs. But don't feel sorry for me. I'm a school guidance counselor and a champion bodybuilder. Just like Ben Servino, he never let his disability get in the way of serving the people of Guam. Please vote for Ben Santos Servino, our voice for Guam.
Vote Ben Servino for Senator.
Too many of the issues that truly matter to our people remain unresolved, and many of the new opportunities to move our island forward have gone unaddressed. I'm Felix Camacho, and I'm running to be Guam's next delegate to Congress because I have a proven record of effectively partnering with the federal government to get things done for our island, a partnership that I believe our people need now from our delegate. We've done it before, and I believe that it is time to do it again.
Please vote Felix Camacho for Congress, paid for by the Committee to Elect Camacho for Congress 2016. Gregorio Calvo, Treasurer.
I'm Felix Camacho, and I approve this message.
Hi, I'm interested in one of your new Samsung devices.
I have the one just for you.
We're increasing the amount of 4G LTE data on our new rate plans, giving people more of what they want to do more of the things they want.
So what do you think?
Nice.
As our delegate to Congress, Madeline Berdallo has been a champion for Guam and has worked every day to improve our island.
In 2005, Madeline passed legislation that made all of Guam a federal hub zone. This has allowed me to compete for federal contracts and expand my business. She understands how hard it is for small businesses and that we contribute immensely to our local economy. I know my business wouldn't be where it is today without her leadership in Congress.
Madeline is always listening to the veteran. Whenever we have a problem, I know that we can go to her and she will immediately get to work. She got the money to build our clinic and she is working to expand it and get more doctors for us. She is fighting for legislation that could upgrade some veterans' medals to the Medal of Honor.
Madeline Berdallo has a strong record of results for Guam. Let's build on the progress she has made and re-elect her as our voice in Congress.
I'm Madeline Berdallo, and I approve of this message.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
A beautiful, healthy smile is an expression of confidence. The more confident you are about your smile, the more likely you are to fully express your feelings without having to worry about the way your teeth look.
Before cosmetic dentistry, I didn't smile as much. I didn't have the confidence, and it shows. And since I've had cosmetic dentistry done, I feel 10 times more confident. I make my initial introduction with a nice big smile and a handshake, and I just, feel like it really is a relationship builder, a nice warm smile, and it makes the clients and customers feel more comfortable with you, feeling confident, and they feel that you're not just there for business, that you're also there kind of as a friend as well. So, I mean, it's amazing how powerful a smile can be. A good smile.
Since your smile makes a significant impression on those around you, it is important that it makes the impression you want it to make.
Ruby Tuesday now gives you more for lunch. Endless trips to the fresh garden bar, plus add-ons, mini combinations, and even new meal options. It's the new lunchtime menu, available Monday to Friday until 2 p.m., only at Ruby Tuesday.
Well, if you want to sing out, sing out. And if you want to be free, be free. 'Cause there's a million things to be, you know that there are. You can do what you want. The opportunities are. You can make it all true. And you can make it undo. You see, you only need to know. And if you want to be me, be me. And if you want to be you, be you. 'Cause there's a million things to do. You know that there are, you know that there are.
And welcome back to D16 tonight. Of course, if you've got a question, feel free to post it on our Facebook live stream. And remember, please post your sentiments in real time. If you like the responses to your questions, make sure to share your emoji. So our next question goes to Fernando, and it is from Quentin Duenas. What is your opinion on the current status of the Guam Board of Education and John Fernandez? Should the legal counsel continue the process with the current leak or redo the investigation?
Oh, that's a good one. I think the legal counsel needs to do what they were hired to do and let the board do what the board is supposed to do. As part of the whole process, I think the investigation does need to be complete, and then the people need to have access to what it is that's going on. Regardless of, I think, what is going on within the internal workings of the board, it is something that's polarizing and the community wants to know, and I think they have a right to know everything that's going on.
Joe?
Well, being formerly from the board for 6 years and being the chairman, number one, what should have happened was when they recommended or they had the motion to terminate, they first should have identified why it was being terminated. And then the bills in particular should have been voted by the board that that's the basis of the termination. And it's quite obvious that there's commotion on who's in charge. Is it the legal counsel or is it the board? And the board needs to take control of themselves and settle down. And they need to start an investigation again and start it all over, but get back on track.
Senator?
Well, I do think that the Board of Education should complete the process. Of course, there's conversation right now in the media between the two attorneys, and I hope that this doesn't go all the way to court. But the board is the only entity in this island that can hire and fire the superintendent of education, not their attorneys, and not the executive branch, not the legislative branch. So we need to allow this elected board that's also comprised of appointees to finish the process.
All right, thank you. We've got another question. It's a little bit different from George Jag. DMV currently avails the option for every driver's license applicant to be an organ donor. However, our hospitals are not equipped to accommodate such procedures. What would you do as senator to facilitate such medical opportunities are made available on island to help save lives, Joe?
Well, you know, Nestor, being formerly from Revenue and Tax, when you apply for a driver's license, you check mark organ donor or not. The only sad part is that GMH, I think if I'm correct, that law was put in place in the 90s, late 90s. GMH has not finished putting together the rules and regulations on how to take care of that. If somebody passed away and his organ is available, who's going to take care of it? GMH is not ready for that, because I even called them up today and I asked them what's going on with that issue. Because, you know, I run into everybody and there's nothing going on. Nobody's set up to receive the organs. So in other words, so if there was somebody that needs the organ, they can't get it.
Okay.
Yeah, to answer that, we really need to talk to the medical community and also the administration of the KUAM Memorial Hospital. If it's already in our as an option that we can put in our driver's license, the mechanics of that, even if it's been done many years ago, really has to be worked out by the medical profession and the administration. So I don't think we have a role as legislators to pass something like that. That's an operational issue.
How about you, Fernando?
So it's a bunch of different things. There are some administrative kinks that need to get worked out, such as setting up the registry, setting up the standard operating procedures. But going back, a lot of it is resources and staffing. You know, not any surgeon can just do a regular organ transplant. It really depends on the surgeon, or depends on the organ. So again, the support we put into GMH with growing it and creating more options is going to better benefit people. So bringing in more of these specialty care doctors, some more surgeons that are going to be available, because a lot of times it's at the drop of a dime that they need to come do the surgery.
Okay. And Narissa, the next question is from Kenny Artero. What will you do to get Simon Sanchez High School back on track in the rebuilding process?
Actually, there isn't anything at this point, given that there's a protest. We need to allow the procurement process to go through. For us to intervene at this point can actually create more problems and create more delays. So we need to allow this process to go through and to have the decision made by the OPA or even the courts.
And you, Fernando?
So there's not much we can do with the situation right now, because it's already in, not necessarily litigation, but it's already in mediation regarding the procurement. But what we need to finally do and say, okay, enough is enough. We've been complaining about procurement issues for so long. We need to go back to the laws, take a look, and see what we can do to make adjustments. While I have some suggestions to that, I don't have enough time to go over it this evening, but I'll be happy to take questions later.
Okay. And you, Joe?
Well, you know, there's a procurement problem in the laws, and what they need to do is fix it, because exactly what Dr. Underwood brought up, there's nothing much anybody can do right now but wait for the OPA. But we need to look at the procurement laws, and if elected, I will look at the procurement laws. And if somebody wants to protest a contract that's awarded, they're going to have to start putting money now into that business as a retainer to challenge a contract awarded, so that if they win it, they get their money back. If they lose it, all the expenses the government has incurred would go to pay off those expenses.
Okay, we've got time for one last question, and it'll go to you, Fernando. Sure. From John Bagaforo. I'm currently enrolled at the Guam Trades Academy, preparing for a second career. Taking the recent issues with skilled workers on island and the federal government's delay in approving the entry of skilled workers in Guam, what are your opinions on creating legislation to provide funding so our people can learn the skilled trade?
So there is funding available. Actually, Department of Labor just got, I think, another large grant as part of the Guam Registered Apprenticeship Program. So I think a lot of it is education with a lot of the businesses, which allow the businesses to get money for their employees to go to school, to hire them on as apprentices, also to assist with other costs associated with their employment. So I think ensuring that the policies and procedures guiding that is sound, very, very sound for that amount of money, and also expanding it to allow for other skills for individuals.
Joe?
Well, you know, GCC is the school to go. And what they need to do is that if there's money out there, then let's get the advertisement out there, let's promote this, and let's get everybody to go to school so we can start offsetting that shortfall.
All right. And Narissa?
And we should support Guam Community College, but I've also introduced a bill that would establish a trust funds for our graduates of the public schools, so they would be able to go to GCC or UOG. And we need to start building our local skilled force so that we would not have to import or bring in H2 workers. I believe that the key to that is, again, providing our students a sense of aspiration for them to proceed to either GCC or UOG.
Okay, we'd like to thank you. We have time for a final comment from each of you. Maybe about 30 seconds if you could, Joe.
Oh, number one, you know, like I mentioned earlier, Nestor, I'm number 8 on the ballot on the Democrat side. My slogans, it's not about the easy way, but the right way. I like to find, if elected, find ways to bring some financial stability in the government, and let's adequately fund the Department of Education, the Guam Memorial Hospital, so that we don't have to get a loan for that, and take care of the police officers, so we can start curbing the crimes that are going on in Guam.
Okay, Senator Under?
Yes, well, I ran on the notion again, the belief that if we provide equal opportunity and fair treatment for everyone, we would be a much more successful community. So to that end, I would like to introduce the first generation initiative so that we have more first generation business owners and to provide those people who have never had the opportunity to be business owners, to give them that chance to do so. We also should provide more of our students the opportunity to be college graduates or graduates of the community college. And the way that we do that is to start with K-12 and to give them that aspiration to go further.
And Fernando?
So the number one item on my platform is government efficiency. You know, it sounds like a broad term to many, and how does it relate to them? Well, just put it simply, I'm going to give, if elected, I have all the systems to put into place to give the people of Guam the most professional government they've ever seen. That is a promise I will absolutely make. I have no intention to be a career senator or politician. This is something I feel that it's just a duty to benefit the people and give back to the island. And at the end of the day, I humbly ask them for their vote. My name is Fernando Barcinas Esteves, number 7 on the Republican side of the ballot.
Thank you very much, and we'd like to thank all of our guests tonight, and thank you for joining us. Good luck on voting on November 8th. Remember, your vote is your voice.
Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E